No, because now we're going to queer up politics.
Woo!
Biden and Democrats can't win in November? So why did Biden come to South Florida this weekend? Pundits have suggested the Democrats, and specifically Biden-Harris, can't win Florida. During this week's events, very near the Happening Out television studios, President Joe Biden addressed an audience of affluent donors and VIPs, asserting that winning in Florida is possible but requires organization, mobilization, and voting. Similar sentiments were echoed from other Democrats, including Nikki Fried, the state Democratic Party chair, and Fentrice Driscoll, the minority party leader in the state House of Representatives. They optimistically suggested that with hard work, ample fundraising, and effective communication, victory for Democrats in Florida is attainable. However, skepticism abounds among Democrats, Republicans, and nonpartisan analysts regarding the feasibility of significant Democratic success in Florida come November. Former U.S. Rep. Carlos Curbelo dismissed the notion as something out of Alice in Wonderland, emphasizing the challenging political landscape. Despite the Democrats' push for optimism, Sean Phillippe, a Democratic strategist, highlighted the current voter registration numbers as not conducive to Democratic success statewide. With Florida leaning solidly red in public opinion polls, the likelihood of a competitive state in November appears slim. While acknowledging the challenges, Sean Foreman, a political scientist, has cautioned against completely writing off Florida. Biden's recent visit marked his sixth visit to Florida since taking office, reflecting the state's political significance. Floridians were the fourth largest source of donations to Biden's 2020 campaign. Despite criticism from the Republican National Committee and Chair Ronna McDaniel for focusing on fundraising, the Biden administration remains committed to engaging with Florida voters, recognizing the state's influence and financial support in political campaigns. Recent developments, such as the defeat of DeSantis in Iowa, his exit from the presidential race, and the federal court ruling against Trump, are signs that Americans are still in favor of democracy and freedom. The final piece of the Florida election puzzle will be what happens in Florida's huge LGBTQ+ community. As of today, Queer News Tonight has seen little action from the LGBT community for the November elections. So forgive me for repeating myself, but did I happen to say that I'm from Blue, Illinois?
And the outfit, by the way, is very on brand.
Very blue. And I've been living in Florida for 10 years, and I have to say, I'm not going to make any friends, that the Democratic Party in Florida is an embarrassment. And if you doubt that, just remember that the Democratic candidate that they put up against Governor DeSantis a couple of years ago was former Republican and suave man about town, Charlie Crist. I mean, come on. That was the best they could do. That was pathetic.
I agree with you completely, and I wish the state Democratic Party did a much better job than they actually do here. They have just abandoned the state legislature, and they just don't put candidates up to make any of this stuff work. And that's where we are in the situation that we are right now. And it goes to the point on the last segment that you made. This is truly about voting. This is about engagement that people have to do, and people do have to get involved. Honestly, this week, because the race now seems clear as who it's going to be, I signed up for the first time this year for monthly donation to the Biden campaign. I did it through the end of the year. And whether it's $5 or $500 a month, in order to be able to put it there, you have to put that there.
Yeah.
I literally ordered my Biden-Harris bumper sticker, and it's going to go on the back of my car. I mean, I'm tired of driving around and only seeing Trump stickers. We have to get out there, and we have got to put stuff out there to make a difference. I don't know if we can win Florida, but I do think it's important for us to at least to try to stop what's going on and to show that we have a voice here.
Exactly. And that's where the power comes in, because right now, instead of it being a tidal wave of red like we saw with the governor's race and the state senate race, we need to now just make a move and galvanize on the ground. It's going to take just regular people instead of relying on the Democratic Party here in Florida. And
love you, but you're not enough, but love you.
It's not enough. It's not enough. It's going to take grassroots 501c3 organizations from all across, immigrants, Black, Latino, LGBTQ. It's going to take religious, faith-based organizations to rally up and just make noise right now. Now is just the time to make noise. Even if Florida isn't one, it's time to just make some noise and get.
Well, and Greg, you said you were here for 10 years. You've been here for 10 years now, right? So I'm not sure how long everyone else at the table has been here, but you're from here. So I remember, I'm from New York, and I remember when Florida was a swing state, you know, and it was blue just as much as it was red, you know, and I don't know if that has been in the last 10 years or not, you know, but I do think that there is a chance that eventually with the correct work, we could have a blue wave again, you know, God willing, here, because it's been done before and it can be done again. That's how.
Do you think it goes back to the hanging chads and that bush freak?
Well, I think
it goes back to that.
I do.
I think that's when we really started to define red and blue states.
Right.
Because the election kept going on for so long, we kept seeing that same map. In that particular year, Republicans had happened to be in red and Democrats in blue. And the election went on for a month, and it's one of those things that just stuck in the cultural lexicon. That's when we started really paying attention. Because remember, only 15 or 16 years before, Reagan had carried 49 states, including Rhode Island, including Delaware. So we rarely has the popular vote and the electoral college until 2000 have they not aligned.
Right.
Now, yes, did Reagan got 98% of the electoral votes and 55% of the real vote, but still there was a consensus. And I think 2000 really the hanging judge really sort of started to focus how we're going to define politics in the modern era. To answer your question, can the Democrats carry Florida? No, absolutely not. But I will tell you that the reason that Biden was here this weekend is the answer to all questions. Money. That's what it is. For the same reason Republicans that Trump and his crowd will schlep out to Silicon Valley and the Inland Empire and Orange County in California. They don't have a chance of carrying the state, but there's a lot of money there to get. Kind of like, remember Super Mario Brothers, where they just kind of ran around, they would jump up and they'd pick up 4 coins and then they'd move on to the next level? That's essentially what this is. They're just going around, jumping up to collect coins and get it. I don't think we need to focus, 2 points before we move on. We don't need to focus on getting new people registered. We've been doing that. What we need to do is start to try to sway people who are already engaged. People who are, but I don't like this, but I like this about what the Republicans do. We need to get out there and convince people who are already going to go vote to vote our way, to see things from our perspective. And we need to maximize our purple areas. We need to focus on smaller, low-dollar elections. Where did Republicans really start to make their inroads in the 1980s and 90s? School boards. And we just surrendered it because we were doing relatively electorally well, we as meaning Democrats. But if we start to put our money there, flip a couple of school boards in throughout the state, flip 2 or 3 states, Florida legislature seats, and build from there. Because we're not going to rebuild an entire political structure in this election cycle. This is not going to be Joe Biden's year in Florida. And remember, every dollar that's spent here has to be taken from somewhere else.
Right.
And are we going to sacrifice the suburbs of Detroit again, like Hillary Clinton did? Because we know that they're with us. That didn't work out very well. Are we going to sacrifice outside of Pittsburgh? Are we going to sacrifice, Tempe, Arizona, and outside of Phoenix? It just makes more sense to get to 270 rather than try and have a flashy, splashy win in Florida.
Yeah, I don't think that there's any way Florida is going to go. Anyway, I agree.
All right.